Let me give this a little bit of time. I did not announce this live, so it could turn out that I'm like here by myself today. Maybe some of you guys will show up. We will see. I know that it's Easter, so there's a very strong chance that I'll be here all alone. However, this is the first moment I've had to do a live for you guys in a really long time, so I wanted to show up and be here for you today. And you know what? For some of you guys, Easter might be a time where you need a friend. Who knows? Also, some of y'all probably don't even celebrate Easter. It's like not everybody's thing. So I'm just going to hang out for a while and babble. I am so proud of myself. We have no technical difficulties this time. I'm proud of myself to myself. Anyway, yeah, I'm just going to hang out for a while, talk to myself, see if anybody shows up. And then if you guys don't show up, I will do the pick a card without you because I'm still bringing you your messages today. Why, you might ask? Because I was told to. That might sound a little bit crazy to some people, but I felt like this was the day to bring the messages. So here we are. Here I am. Oh, I got two people. Hey, peoples. As you come in, say hi and let me know if you can hear me. Please, for goodness sake, let me know if you can hear me on the platform where you're listening, because once I did like a whole, I think like 7 minutes that I was just talking and nobody could hear anything I was saying. So let's not repeat that. I'm going to let my patrons over on Patreon know that we are live right now. So that's going to get us some more friends to join us today. There we go. Okay, cool. So yes, put your name in the chat so I can say hello to you directly as you come in. Oh, I got a like. Thank you. That's the other thing I was supposed to say. Okay, so let me know if you can hear me. Give a like to the video. Say hello in the chat. Let me know that you are here so I can say hello back to you. And I also have this thing that I do where I pull up another phone that's got me on it. So it's like so many Shons. It's like Shon 1, Shon 2, and Shon 3. But anyway, this is to help me see your chats because it's a little bit tricky to try to do chat and pull cards all at the same time. I bet it's a lot easier for people who don't pull cards. So our topic for today is to be determined. We are going to be using Oprah Winfrey's The Life You Want cards to get our messages for today. It is this huge stack of cards that my sister gave me for Christmas. She actually gave them to everybody in my family. And I don't know what my mother and my other sister are doing with them, but for me, I immediately was like, oh, that is a card reading on my channel for sure. So we're going to find out the topic from this deck. Okay, and then we are going to use 3 of my favorite, most whimsical decks to get our messages. And that's where the pick a card's going to come in, all right? So you're going to get to choose between 3 decks. Hello, Lindsay Oman. Hello, Soul Family. Lindsay from Pacific Northwest. Hello, I used to live on the Pacific Coast. I just moved back to the East Coast about 3 months ago. Oh, God, no. 7 months ago. 7 months ago. You said you were born into the... Oh, honey. A lot of us feel like we were born into the wrong family. I feel that. Especially during holidays like Easter, right? I am so glad that you found us. We will happily be your soul family. Feel free to subscribe to my channel so that you always know when I am doing a reading and you can connect with us here. Also, you guys, be sure to engage with each other in the chat. Like, it's definitely great for me when I get your messages and I can respond directly to you, but also you guys should respond to each other, support each other. Okay, I'm going to start sounding so boxy now, so I'm going to shut up. Let's get back to your decks. So again, we're going to be choosing from Oprah's The Life You Want deck to figure out which topic we are covering today. And then you're going to get your messages from one of 3 decks that I have prepared for you. They are some of my most fun decks. I absolutely love them. One is the Panda Tarot. The second one is the Tinseltown Tarot. And the third is going to be my brand new Mermaid Tarot. I love this deck so much, y'all. When I read from, oh, it matches my dress. Anyway, when I read from this deck, it feels, so far I've only read from it for myself and for my Patreon community. And it just feels so aligned for me. I don't know a ton about star seeds and otherworldliness and stuff like that, but from the little I do know, I think I'm probably like a Lumerian if I am something other than just being human. And they are like mer people. And so it makes sense to me that that deck absolutely resonates for me. Sun Celise, hello, hi. I hope I'm saying your name right. Sun, am I reading that right? Oh, wait, I've got this one. Let me use this one to make it easier. Um, I got some old eyes, y'all. Sun, this is no better. I can see it about the same. So I think it's Sun Solis. If I'm not saying that right, please let me know. I want to make sure that I honor who you are and how I talk to you. Lindsay, you say this tracks. Yes, 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 girl. You are probably stepping into a period of alignment right now. I actually feel like a lot of us are, which is one of the reasons why it felt inspired to me to do this reading for you today in this way. I did not pre-plan that we would be using Oprah's The Life You Want deck, but with it being spring in particular, at least here in the Western Hemisphere where I live, it is springtime. It is Easter today. Easter is new beginnings, new birth. You know, this is connected to historical traditions even beyond the Christian tradition of resurrection, and coming back to life that the savior of the Christian faith did. So it just feels like because so many different cultures, so many different people are celebrating newness, the world itself, again, if you happen to be in the Western Hemisphere, is celebrating newness because we have like all these flowers and we have like a beautiful sky almost daily. We get rains, the rains don't last very long, and they bring us even more flowers and bushes, and the birds are singing, and you know, baby animals are being born and all that stuff. And so it's like, well, if the world, the earth, the universe is doing newness, we get to have newness too. So you being in alignment, this tracking for you, Miss Lindsay, completely makes sense to me. It is time for us to have some new in our lives, and we are going to start right away. So again, if you are just joining us, be sure to let me know who you are in the chat so that I can say hello to you. I can already assume now that you hear me because some of you guys are responding directly to what I'm saying. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please be sure to do that. I do not post on this channel a lot. I do the majority of my content creation for my Patreon community. You are, of course, welcome to join that. There are several levels of membership there. All of them are deliberately affordable. So I do most of my content creation there, and then I will do lives occasionally here on YouTube, as well as take snippets of the content that I create on Patreon and put on YouTube. So please subscribe to the channel if you want to have some access to me, some exposure to me. I would love to have you join me here on YouTube. We would even more so love for you to join us in the Patreon community, where we are focused on creating the lives we want and living our art, because most of us are artists like myself. Most of us are, or some of us are spiritual workers or energy workers also like myself. I make 100% of my income from my artistic talents and my spiritual gifts. And if that's something that you want to do, oh God, it started to sound salesy. But anyway, I can tell you how to do it. So join me either here or on Patreon or both. Okay, let's see. We have some more people that came. Oh no, you guys are talking to each other. I love that. I'm going to shut up so that you can do it. I have already shuffled this deck, but I'm going to shuffle it a little bit more just because as I have been talking, hello, Big Muns 99, welcome. Because I have been talking and showing you the deck as I've been talking, you've seen that one particular card. And so that we don't get too attached to that card, hello, Becken Alshopa. Hi. Hi, Fiend Luck. I don't know about that fiend luck, yo, buddy. But hello, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Hopefully, I'm reading that wrong, or maybe in your mind, fiend means something positive. Let's see. Yes, and Lindsay, you're my new hostess. All right, you guys. Lindsay is going to greet you all today because that way I can get started on your reading. She is doing a great job of saying hello to everybody. So you guys, please be kind and say hi back to Lindsay because what a wonderful energy she is bringing to our reading today, right? As I said earlier, we are doing a pick a card. We are going to start off by finding out the topic from Oprah Winfrey's The Life You Want inspiration cards. And then we are going to use one of 3 decks to get your specific messages. So our topic for today, ladies and gents, I love that we've got both here. And oh, this is a good one. Do you like the person you've become? Feel that for a second. Do you like the person you've become now? That is a yes or no question. And if you happen to be a tarot reader, you know the tarot is not always great for answering yes or no questions. But one thing that we always know is we get an immediate response in our bodies, in our spirit, in our aura when we hear a yes or no question. Like, do I like the person I've become? That's deep. Yes, Sun Celise, that is deep. And yet, I don't think it's a question that we ask ourselves a lot, because a lot of us spend a lot of time worrying about how other people see us, or if other people like us, or if we're being what someone else thinks we should be. So let me introduce you to your 3 decks again. This is where we're going to get the answer. It could turn out that I feel like what's probably going to happen with these cards today is we're going to find out how to become more of the person that we would like to be. Okay. I don't really feel like we're going to get a clear yes or no for some of you. Some of you, we might, and some of you, it could be that you find out something different than what you thought. So let's find out. Deck number 1 is, get that out of the glare of the light. There we go. The Panda Tarot. Okay. Guidance for group 2 is going to come from the Tinseltown Tarot. Also a glossy deck, so that's why I'm showing it to you sideways like this. And finally, the guidance for group 3 is going to be coming from the Mermaid Tarot. How beautiful is that? I absolutely love this deck. Okay, so take a second. I'm going to be quiet for just a little bit so you can intuit which deck you want to get your messages from today. Also, I want to invite you to know that you can choose by number if you want, 1, 2, or 3. Whichever one feels like it's got your messages today, that's where you should go. It's also possible that there's a little bit of something in each of those, in each of the readings we're about to get for you, okay? And in case you're just now joining us, the question is, do you like the person you've become? All right, let's start with group 1. So pulling from the Panda Tarot, group 1, do you like the person that, you've become? Okay. I feel like you do. Uh, so the card that you guys got is the 6 of Pentacles. And this card talks about balancing giving and receiving. And for whatever reason, I feel like for the majority of you who chose this group or this pile, this card deck, you feel like you are the giver in most situations, or you give with comfort, you give with ease, is what I'm getting. And so because of that, you do like that about yourself. You do like that you have a heart that's willing to share with other people, whether it's sharing financial resources, sharing knowledge, sharing your space, sharing your energy when someone just needs to hear from you, talk to you, listen to you, share their lives with you, right? So you like yourself because you're a giver, is what I'm getting for those of you who chose this particular deck. Now, if there is a guidance in here for you at this time, it is to, of course, make sure that you are balancing how much you are giving. Okay. Ideally, you would like there to be a nice equal balance between giving and receiving. However, that is not something that you can necessarily control. You cannot necessarily control how other people, or if other people receive for you, particularly if you are in a very, very selfish environment. I'm going to give you a quick example. I work in theater and film and television. And they are full of people who like to call themselves generous. Oh, she's such a generous actress. Oh, I try to be generous with my acting, generous this and generous that. But the reality is they are also some of the most narcissistic and selfish motherfucking people I've ever met in my life. All right. So I am surrounded by that energy all the time. Or you might come from a family where everyone is always just thinking about what they can get, thinking about themselves. So the group environment that you're in, whether it's a workplace or it's your family life, might not have you around people who give generously or give at all. That is not something that you control other than getting out of that particular environment. But what you can do is control how much you give to them. So pile one, you love the fact that you are a giver, and the universe loves that about you as well. But your guidance here is to also be mindful of making sure you don't overgive to those who are not giving back to you. And also, when people try to give you something, let yourself receive, let yourself take. It's okay to take. Okay. All right. So we have a lot of commentary here. Miss Lindsay is working. She is working this chat for me. Thank you, Miss Lindsay. Uh, she says, okay, so Lindsay says that Pile One's reading is beautiful. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. And then, oh, okay, Big Muns asked how the card game works. And so Lindsay has explained that. Basically, guys, we're getting your guidance on whether or not you like the person you've become. And the first pile is yes, that they do. And they like it because they know that they are generous people with a generous heart. So Lindsay has explained that. Thank you so much, girl. And then I want to say it right. Suncease says, I'm trying to be less of a giver, people pleasing, because family really took advantage. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of us come up in families full of selfish people. And the way we learn to cope with that family, the way we learn to survive that family is to give, because we think if I give, they will love me. And then unfortunately, what happens is we take that behavior, that coping mechanism, that survival skill into the world at large. And then we just become the giver for all the people in all the situations at all the times and all the things. And we can find ourselves very depleted because we are not being fed into, we are not being nurtured, not even from ourselves, unfortunately. You say, oh, that's why he moved away. Lesson learned. I love that, y'all. Two of my favorite things is extricating myself from situations and going no contact with people. I absolutely love to be like, you're fired. All right. What else do we have? Oh, what happened here? Hold on a second. Oh, I lost it over there because I scrolled the wrong way. So let me see if I can see it here. So our teachers is funny this way. So in the workplace, yes, the workplace is a lot of times we tend to think if we give, we'll get promotions. And so then next thing you know, we're over giving. So the workplace is a tricky one for trying to maintain balance, but it's doable because believe it or not, supervisors, they've been trained that they have to make space for it. They just don't necessarily tell you that, you know? So if you need to balance out how much you're doing or giving at the job, there's a way for you to make that happen. And if that's something that you want consultation on, I do offer consultations on my website, shon.vibes, and I love to focus on career consultation so I can help you learn how to speak on that and get the balance that you need in your workplace. All right, let's move on to group 2. Cutoff game is on point finally. I love that, Lindsay. Yes, girl. And like way before I knew the phrase no contact, I had been heard to say on many occasions, talking about work situations where I am in charge, that I do like firing people. I absolutely do. Because if I've gotten to the place where I need to fire you, it is time for you to go. I have always owned my own businesses ever since I was like 14. So there's always been or I've managed, not manage isn't even the right word, but like run arts organizations or arts programs. And so there's always been the opportunity for me to let someone move on to their next best thing. And I enjoy doing that. Where some people, it makes them uncomfortable to cut off difficult people and say goodbye. Not me. All right. Group 2. Here is yours. Again, you are getting your guidance from the Tinseltown Tarot. Wow. Again with the Pentacles. So group 2, you guys got 9 of Pentacles. And you like who you've become because you're starting to take control of your actual life. That's what I'm getting here. I'm getting that there's been a big shift in your life during your adulthood. Either you've already started to make these changes or you've started to get the the learning around it so that you can make these changes where you have more control over your actual life. Instead of letting life dictate for you the path that you're on, the work that you do, the way that you do things, where you live, how you present yourself, how you dress, you are like, no, this is me. I am here for this, and I am here for this in this way. And there's like this streak of independence in you, right? Now, if you feel as though you're someone who doesn't like who you've become, it's because you haven't tapped into that sense of personal power and independence yet. But this Nine of Pentacles lets you know that that is definitely possible for you. So please, yes, self-reliance. That's really good. Suncease. Sun-reliance. Sun-reliance. Self-reliance, y'all. All right. So here's what happened. I forgot to put on the do not disturb on my phone. And so I just got a text message from my mama asking me to take something out of the something. It was like, take the macaroni out of the something. And I'm just like, nah, lady, because I'm in the middle of a live and that is not happening. So my brain just kind of went somewhere else for a second. But getting back to you guys. Lindsay says, I adore this about you. Thank you so much, Lindsay. Thank you so, so much. And yes, getting back to this self-reliance, being resilient. And as Lindsay is calling me here, she says, I'm very resilient. I absolutely am. And I hope that for all of you, because the reality is life is always going to give us challenges, and there are always going to be difficult people on the planet. We cannot, a lot of us, sometimes when we go on the healing journey, we tend to think we're going to one day get to this place where we just, everything is perfect and fine and calm and peaceful and prosperous, and nothing's going to come to trigger me, and nothing is going to bother me. And no, because people going to people, they still exist. And so what's key here in group 2, you guys are either already killing it here, or you're going to start, because this is the path for you, is being so independent, have so much personal power, be so self-assured that regardless of these other things that come and, kind of like hit you a little bit, knock you over, test you, however you want to look at it, they will not throw you off your game. They will not throw you off your path. You might second guess yourself for a second, but then you realign and you come back to the self. So you are very good about having control over your own life and exercising your own personal power, group 2. And that is what you like about you. And again, if that doesn't sound like something you've experienced so far, know that that is your path. That is your path, group 2. Self-reliance, self-sufficiency, independence, personal power. When I think and talk about magic, I think about personal power. And then I also use the metaphysical to go along with that. All right. All right. So what do we have here? Centered. This is everything. LOL, everything not. And duality. Duality is a thing. And we cannot get past that. It is always going to be. And so it's just, how do I navigate what's happening in this moment? How do I navigate what's happening in this moment and stay myself? You do not have to abandon or neglect your true self for the sake of anybody or anything ever. Okay, finally we have group 3. Lindsay, I know you've been waiting for this one, girl. You said group 3 is calling me. So here you go. We have group 3. Okay. And you are getting your messages from the Mermaid Tarot. Very strong manifestors in this group. And y'all are people who have always known that you had that manifestation power. You guys are out here telling your ages. Let's see here. So Sensi says, I'm getting there, but I'm a late bloomer, 35. Actually, you're not. So our world has taught us to think that 30s and mid 30s is late, but literally that's when most people start blooming. And most people start thinking, oh, I'm late. Or that's when they start to find themselves and they think, oh, I'm behind, but you're not. You're not behind. That's when most people do it. It's just not what like TV and movies and advertising and just people in your ear. Like, imagine what it was like for me. I was in film and TV and I went to LA at 36. I was already 36 when I went there. I had done my work as a professional artist here in Charlotte first for 15 years before I moved to the West Coast. And that's definitely an environment where you're getting told that if you're not 20, you're old, but you're really not. I want you to know that that you're over 35. That's okay. That's when most people really start coming into their own, really start asking questions like, do I like the person who I've become? Is this the path that I want to be on? Am I doing what makes me happy? Does this fit me? It's when we tend to start thinking about the self more so than, again, trying to please parents or please teachers or get a certain credential or move up in the workplace or now please a husband or wife, take care of the kids if you went down that path. And then we have Lindsay out here saying, me too, 40, you're ahead of me, LOL. Big Mun says 30, same bro, 30. Y'all are my people. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that I did this live today and that y'all are the ones that found it, because I have a heart for people who consider themselves late stage artists or late stage bloomers, and not from a place of, oh, I've been doing it forever and now I'm like retirement age, but oh wait, I have this interest, I have this love, I have this thing I want to do, but I am older than when most people start to do it. In fact, my plan is to one day start my own arts organization that is specifically for fully fucking grown people who want to practice their art, who want to discover or explore it because they didn't have the opportunity to do it in their youth for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't come from a family that had the means to put them in certain classes, or like me, maybe they got to do things but they moved so much. My family moved so much that I was not able to stick with one particular art form until I went to college. You might be someone like that. You might be someone who you did it for a while, then your family lost their money and then you couldn't do it anymore. Or you might be someone who comes from a family who would laugh at you when you express a certain interest or hobby, particularly when it comes to the arts. You may be someone whose family says there's no money in that, or I'm not going to pay for your college if you go to school for the arts. Or you go to school for theater. You need to get a real job. Or maybe life circumstances like medical bills or something made you walk away from an artistic or spiritual practice that you had and truly believed in, and you needed to practically make money, and then you just never got back on that path. Y'all are my people. Y'all are my people. Y'all are the ones that I'm going to create this arts organization for, and you're also the ones that my Patreon is geared towards. It's 100% for people. Like, my whole Patreon community is I want to say 28 is my youngest, but most are 30 to 45-year-old participants. Mostly women, one dude. But we would take more dudes if y'all wanted to come. All right, group 3. Here we go. I just wanted to, oh wait, hold on, there's more. This is how I heal mostly. Music and art, yes. Well, animals too. These are my yes. For me personally, when I sing, Lindsay, my vibration goes up. If I'm ever in a bad mood, I know sing, boom, vibration raises just like that. There are other things to use that I can use also, but the singing does it every single time. Laughed at Doe, just the thought of walking the earth my way. Now it's my way or hit the highway. I like that. I like that. All right, group 3. Y'all have been patient. Here we go. The question that we are asking today is, do you like the person you've become? I will be putting timestamps in this video after I have finished. I can't do it while I'm pulling your cards clearly. But if you are joining late and you're like, I don't want a group 3 message, I want 1 or 2, they will be available for you soon. All right. So yeah, very powerful manifestors in this group. 6 of Cups. The first thing Lindsay said when she showed up was, hi, soul family. 6 of Cups. Now, 6 of Cups oftentimes is interpreted to mean something having to do with your past, your childhood in particular, like nostalgia of the past, right? However, with this particular deck, when I have seen this card each and every time, I see this as people finding their people. And it might indeed be connected to who you were originally before the world shat on you and tried to control you and make you into what they thought you should be. That's probably how you will recognize your soul family, as you unearth the things about yourself that are real and true and authentic, and you let them live and you give yourself permission to be that way, no matter what anybody else's reaction or response to that could possibly be. You will find other people who are like yourself. Look what happened in this live here today, where we have so many people who came here with a similar mindset of I am behind. And it turns out you're not, lovelies. Y'all are not behind at all. And you see how these mermaids, they've all found something, but they don't quite know what to do with it, right? This is very similar to like in Disney's Little Mermaid when Ariel had all the stuff in her grotto and she didn't know what to do with it. She was like combing her hair with a fork, you know? That works. It's unconventional, but yeah, you could do that. You could comb your hair with a fork. Forks and combs are very similar. And so that's what you have going on here with these mermaids. They found some cups and they are using them in very unconventional ways. You said that's me. That's you. Yes. And so I feel like for you, group 3, a big part of you liking the person that you've become is because you've come to accept and love the things about you that aren't necessarily cookie cutter, that aren't necessarily what other people normally think or do or espouse. It's about accepting your uniqueness or the fact that you are unconventional in some ways, that you have unconventional beliefs or unconventional habits, or maybe you learn differently than other people do, or the way that is traditionally taught in schools. And maybe that's been historically a barrier for you because on top of learning differently, you've had judgments around yourself for being different. And this card is here. Oh, both of you guys are saying yes. I love that. I love that. Suncease and Lindsay are both, that's me. Yes, yes. And it was a journey, but I adore me and the weird that I am. Yes, absolutely. And so you guys have this thing where this is the time for you to connect with more people who also embrace their uniqueness, their unconventionality, their weird, whether or not it's the same as yours. It's about making space for what is in you and then making space for what is in others. I don't know. So you guys are all, y'all are all younger than me by a lot. But there was this movie when I was young called Little Man Tate. And Little Man Tate starred Jodie Foster, and she had this son that was a genius, but he was also very, very different. And, you know, they went on this path of trying to find for him the right way of learning, the right environments and people for him to connect with and to learn with. And it was a struggle. And man, did I resonate with that story so much because a lot of it echoed what my own experience was when I was young. I just didn't have a parent to help me navigate that the way in this, I will admit, fictionalized film, this little genius did. And at the end of it, the moral was that when you find yourself surrounded by people who all have their own uniqueness and everyone is different, that's when you found home. I'm not doing it justice because I'm not the screenwriter, but if you are interested in seeing older movies, and that will play into the nostalgia that Six of Cups tends to represent, older movies, check that one out. There's a great message in there for all of you guys. All right, let me see what all you guys are saying here, and hopefully I won't like skip myself out of the chat this time. So Sensi says 100% different from society considers ideal or dream life. So dream life for you is going to be what feels good for you. I cannot say that enough. There are these ideas out there about dream job, dream home, dream career, like the steps or the where you should be by certain ages in this, that, or the other. Measure that against what feels, literally physically feels right for you, and you will know whether or not that is your dream. Grinding to keep up with the Joneses. Fuck the Joneses. That's all I got to say about that. They don't even have a good last name. Okay. How old am I? You gonna make me tell big ones? I don't know. I said it the last live I did. I said it. I just had a birthday in January. I turned 50. And so now that we're almost halfway through the year, I am almost 50 and a half. Okay. Oh God, I can't believe it. I'm saying that with such comfort these days, because at first I was like, what the? Like, I didn't even have a party because I did not want to announce to my industry how old I had gotten. Anyway, and that's not about so much me actually caring as opposed to just knowing how film and TV work. Even when I first moved to LA and I was only 36, I was 36 and I looked like I was 20, somewhere between 22 and 24. And they immediately started putting me out for old mom roles. I was 36 and I looked like I was 24, but because they knew I was 36, my agent or my manager at the time started putting me out for the roles where the character was in their 40s. So, yeah. All right, let's see what we have here. So yes, that's how old I am. Big months. And what is funny is the Joneses are actually jealous of us. Girl, the Joneses don't even like themselves. Yes, Lindsay, they only believe their way of living. Mm-hmm. My team says, go with what lights you when you can't fail. I like that. And I'm assuming, y'all, that Lindsay means here her spirit team. I absolutely love that. And also, I want to add to that, allow yourself space for that to change. So when you go down a path, even if you were completely lit up with it or about it from the beginning, then you get to a part where you're like, oh, I am not feeling this so much anymore. It could be one of two things. One, it could be that now that you found out more about it, you don't actually love it and it's not for you. Or two, it could be that you have already gotten what you were meant to get from it and now it's time to move on to something else. One of the things that we do, particularly those of us who come from Western society and things like hustle culture, is we tend to think we have to finish everything, that whatever we start, we've got to do it to completion before we go on to the next thing. But the problem with that is that when you force yourself to keep going down a path that is no longer right for you, you are delaying getting to the next thing that is the way you ought to go. And it's slowing down your progress. So don't get hung up on needing to keep going, even when in the beginning you were lit up by the idea of something. Lindsay says, I would have thought 30s maybe. I love that. Thank you. You are kind. You are very, very kind. Y'all know I don't have kids though. I'm not judging anybody who does, but I thoroughly believe that, one, I do think I have the spirit of youth, and then two, I don't have kids, so they ain't stressing me out. Though Justin has been giving me some gray hairs lately. That's a real thing. He has been. Anyway, okay. So Sensi says, good for you. Thank you, Sensi. Big Man says, it's funny. I plan on moving to South Carolina next summer, but I'm nervous. I'm curious what part of South Carolina you're moving to, Big Buns, why you are moving, and also why you're nervous. Tell me why you're nervous. I originally grew up in South Carolina. All right. I was raised in Charleston, and then we moved to Charlotte, North Carolina when I was 13. I only stayed there 2 years because I didn't love it, and I also moved a lot in Charleston before we even moved to another state. But South Carolina, there can be some really great things about it, depending on where you are, what kind of work you're doing, and who you are connecting with. And I'm guessing if you're making this move, there's a reason why you feel that you need to right now. So let's embrace the good of that and see what you can get out of it. And also give yourself permission to leave when it's time to leave, if you feel at some point that you don't want to stay there anymore. Little one, hello, little one. You are new to us. Thank you for joining us right now. I'm glad to have you here. You said, Isa Gummy Indian from India. Dream this dream that if at Caucasians. Oh, okay. Hi, little one. I think you might either be a troll or a bot, or maybe you're just anti-colonization, which is a good and fair thing to be. But I don't have any direct response to your chats there other than to say hi and welcome. Okay. And Lindsay already welcomed you. Thank you for that, Miss Lindsay. Sunsees, yes, my interests have changed and it's okay to change. It's not just okay, it's freaking required. And again, sometimes we don't get the space to do that, or we don't have the permission to do that. Y'all, we grow. That's all. That's all I got to say about that. We grow. We definitely grow. And so because you grow, that means you change. And it's okay to not want something that you used to want. Absolutely okay. Lindsay says, little one, I asked to be generous with your energy and open. How beautiful is that? Thank you, Lindsay. You have such a good spirit, girl. That shirt is a baby doll shirt. It's baby doll Bukia Bukia son. Okay, I'm gonna stop reading your chats because I don't know what you're saying. um, but my dress is not quite a baby doll dress. However, I'm doing what I can with what I got. All right. Lindsay says, Lindsay is asking you to leave. Y'all, if I thought I could work the technology, I might need to get somebody to be a moderator for my lives because I can't, since YouTube is making me do it on the phone now instead of on my PC. I'm 50. So we'll try to work that out for the future, having somebody to moderate the chats for me. Okay, moving on. Right now, I'll just try to use some self-control and not get distracted by the all text or the all what's it called, all caps text. You're going to Rock Hill. You're gonna be right up the street from me. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Okay. Now there's this possibility, Big Muns, that you're moving against your will. It could be that your family has to move there for some reason. And so in the beginning, there might be some resistance to it. Or it's that your job is moving you there. So again, if it's not your choice, in the beginning, there's going to be some resistance to it. But let me tell you what's really great about the fact that you're moving to Rock Hill. It's literally right outside of Charlotte. And Charlotte is the best city on the planet, particularly for artists. My boyfriend used to laugh at me all the time because when we were in LA, I was constantly talking about Charlotte being so great in regional market this and regional market that and regional market this, because that's been my experience as an artist here. And I went to LA and LA was a whole different thing. And I do not advocate LA for anybody who considers themselves a real artist, but I do strongly recommend the Charlotte metro area, and you being in Rock Hill are going to be in the Charlotte metro area. You're going to love it. There's going to be so much for you to get into, whether you follow arts or not. We've got sports, we've got arts, we've got great restaurants, we've got festivals. This season right now, in particular, there's a lot of festivals because that's what springtime is. Um, Mostly affordable cost of living. Recently, property values have gone up so much that rents and mortgages are much higher than they were when I moved from Charlotte when what was it, 13 years ago, almost 14 years ago. However, the price of gas is doable. The price of groceries, for the most part, is doable. And most importantly, there's so many good people here. You are going to be welcomed by the community that you're going to be a part of, whether it's your work community or it's your neighborhood that you're in. If you are into the church thing, you can easily find a church community because there's so many churches here. It's not my thing personally, but there's a lot of opportunity for you to connect with. And then also meetup. If you're coming from like a major city like a New York, LA, Chicago, you're used to meetup groups costing money to be a part of, but here they don't. There are some that charge for different reasons, like materials, for instance, like if it's a paint meetup or something like that, like painting. But there are many, many ways for you to connect with people that cost you $0 and 0 cents, and meetup is one of them. Okay. I think you're going to love Rock Hill. I really do. Particularly if you have your own car. And you can get to Charlotte whenever you want to. Okay. Lindsay says, necessary to allow change. Absolutely. And you love my dress. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much. And then Miss Lindsay says, you're aligned, but change is tough given the healing you've done. Rely on your spirit team through the changes. Absolutely. And one of the biggest, I think, most important members of your spirit team is your higher self. I think it is so important to remember to connect with the higher self, and to listen to her or him because they know you best. I think that's my personal opinion, though. Big One says, that's awesome. Yeah, New Jersey is on. It's going to be so much better. It's going to be so much better. So not to shit on New Jersey at all, but I went to Columbia for graduate school in 2001, and I was living with some friends in New Jersey at the time, family friends in New Jersey at the time. And that was quite an adjustment for me coming from the Southeast. So it is going to be culturally very different than what you're used to. But if you're open to change, Big Muns 99, if you want things to be better, allow for the difference, even though at first your brain might resist it because the brain likes what it knows. Okay. But things are going to cost you less money. It's going to be easier to get to different places. We do have public transportation. I don't use it a whole lot myself. My understanding though is that the bus system is more effective than the light rail. Light rail in Charlotte is the equivalent of the New Jersey Transit. And so, but it's not near as extensive. All right. So if you have your own vehicle, that is going to be your best bet. And then if you don't, you need to rely on public transportation. From my understanding of public transportation here, it's the bus is the best way to go, and it is definitely, again, it's extensive. It goes all over the city. And the people, definitely the people. Now, one of the things that you might instinctively do when you get here is over identify as being a person from New Jersey. That is natural. When you move somewhere, it's very natural to consider yourself that thing that you came from, right? And what we inadvertently do when we do that is we create a block between ourselves and the ability to connect with other people. Because since our brain is seeing the differences, the brain's job is to protect us. And so it notices differences and gets afraid of those differences. And when it does that, it then sees that other thing, that thing that is not like us, as being a danger or being wrong. And so there might be, particularly since you said that you're a little bit nervous, okay, your brain might do a thing where it starts trying to make you over identify as where you came from. Know that that's there. When it happens, notice it, know that it's there, accept it, integrate it as part of your experience, and also too, let yourself be open to meeting new people, experiencing new things, and having it feel different, because it's going to feel very different. Vibrationally, it's very different. Environmentally, it's very different. It smells different. If you don't love the smell of grass, you're going to hate the South. If you love it, like I do, the smell of grass and flowers and trees, it will always make you feel alive. All right. Let's see. One last thing before I say goodbye. Thank you guys for joining me for this live today. This is a lot of fun. Okay, so now little one has told me that I don't have a human brain, that it's gummy. So nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. Lindsay says, oh, see, she's so much nicer than me. Damn it, Lindsay, why are you gonna make me look bad? So Lindsay says, I'm sorry for the pain you have obviously endured this lifetime. I do pray for your healing. Tip, look inward, not outside of yourself, as you are right now. Blessed be. And I'm over here being sarcastic and shit. Anyway, listen, it takes all types. For every Lindsay there is out there, there's a Sean. We need all of us. That is so funny. Sunsis says, thank you for being here. If that is meant towards me, you're very, very welcome, Sunsis. If it is meant towards little one, then you are a high level person, just like Miss Lindsay over here is. And then you are very welcome, Big Muns. I am so glad that you found this live today so that I can give you some reassurance about this move. I really do think you're going to be happy here. I know that I am so glad that I moved back. I love this place. I think this is a wonderful place to live. And Lindsay is laughing at me. So you wish you were more me. Girl, could the world handle two Seans? Just ask yourself that. Does the world really need two Seans? Anyway, and what's so funny is I used to want to be a twin, and now I don't know. I'm gonna have to beat that girl up. All right, you guys, thank you all for joining me today. This has been so much fun. And you see, I'm having a hard time getting used to my new short hair, because as I'm looking at myself in the camera. You're a twin? What? So is one of my favorite patrons. Her name is Inacia. She's a twin also. That is so funny. So apparently if I had a twin, she would have been the good twin and I would have been the bad twin. But anyway, yes, I'm sitting here fidgeting with this hair because I can't get used to the holes that I see in it. You see those holes? Anyway, thank you guys for joining me for this live today. I absolutely loved connecting with all of your energy, even you, little one, even you. And I hope you found these messages helpful. The answer right now is yes, you do love who you've become. So I cannot wait to see what comes up for us in our next live. I have, over the past couple weeks, the past 2 weeks, I haven't done a live at all because I had shows back to back. I had first Wizard of Oz and then Guys and Dolls. So I didn't have the availability to do a live. But prior to that, I was doing what's known as art talks. And what we're doing with the art talk lives is we are using tarot cards still. We are picking cards for you, but we're finding out how to get you aligned with your art or your spiritual practice that you feel would most benefit you. Let me say that better. We're removing blocks to your creativity and spiritual practices. That's what we're doing with the art talks. So if you are not a member of my Patreon yet and you'd like to join it, the levels start at only $5 a month. There's one at $5 a month. There's one at $10 a month. There is one at $25 a month. You get different things with those different ones. With the $5 a month one, you get access to my Divine Money podcast that teaches you how to make money out of your spiritual gifts or your artistic gifts without guilt. The second tier is the one that gives you access to that podcast, as well as all of my original meditations and random tarot readings that I do throughout the week to help you get the guidance that you need. Because sometimes your guides or my guides will give me a hit at like 11 p.m. at night and be like, Shon, you need to do a reading for these people. And I whip out my phone and I do it. Uh, and so that's there for you. And then also access to these lives, even beyond when they show up on YouTube. So I do make them available to the public when I first do them so that as many people as possible can connect with them. But then eventually they are no longer available in the public platform. And so if you needed to go back and look at them again, you can. And within the lives at this time, I've been doing, like I just said, those art talks where we're helping you get unblocked from your creative or within your creativity and within your spiritual practice so that you can live your art and create the life that you want for yourself, whether you identify as an actual artist or not. And then finally, at the third level, which is the $25 one, that one you also get a personal tarot reading every month included with your membership. So you get all those other things I already said, and you get the personal tarot reading as well. So if you want to check out the rest of those art talks that we've already done, they are available on the Patreon. It's patreon.com/shon.vibes, no period, shon.vibes, all one word. And then if you're like, I don't know you enough yet to want to like marry you through Patreon, I just want to like see you occasionally. I don't know why that's the voice I went with, y'all. I don't know. Anyway, then you can keep connecting with me here on YouTube. I do these lives every weekend. Right now, it seems like Sundays are the best day for it. So unless I have a performance, unless I have a reason why I can't show up for you guys, I do it here on Sundays between the hours of 11 and 12 is when 11 and 1 is when I start. I don't know when I can get the technology to work. All right, I am hating this hair. We got to do something about this. This is insane to me. Like I miss my body and my flow, and I think I've just made it worse. I've made it worse, haven't I? Yeah, I cannot get used to it. Oh, that's a very 1920s look. I can get with that. Anyway, you guys, thank you all so much for being here. I love that you have been here to connect with me today. Just some quick goodbyes from you guys. Looks like you have so much. So the next one will be next Sunday, Big Mun's 99. Let's see, what else do we have here? Lindsay says, thank you so much, Soul Family. And yes, even little one, as I was given the chance to flex compassion. Go, girl. Congratulations on the move. We all follow what light is and will be all good. Yes, you are going to like your move, Big Muns, I promise. Oh, MoonLove, you just joined us. I'm so sorry you're joining as we're leaving. You said, can you check if I will get offer letter tomorrow from college? Yeah, I don't mind doing that. I'll stick around for a while to check that for you. If anybody else has any personal questions that you want me to answer really quickly, I am happy to do that for you. Blessings to you all, Shon, Lindsay, and Big Muns. Sun Seas, thank you for being here with us. Loved having your energy. Lindsay says, thank you, Shon. You always lift my frequency. I love that. Thank you. Excited to catch a live. And also, Lindsay, if you join my Patreon, even at the free level, then you get notified whenever I go live, so you'll never miss it, okay? And then Lindsay's out here blessing everybody. She's an angel. I think Lindsay is an earth angel. That's the look. Thank you, darling. Oh, God. I'm going to have to start wearing my wigs again. Big Mun says, thanks, everyone. Okay, MoonLove, let's look for you really quickly. We're going to use the Tinseltown Tarot because when I do career readings for people, that's the deck that I use. Hopefully you're still here. I don't even know. You might have left since I was talking about Patreon. Are you still here, MoonLove? If you are, let me know. I'm going to pull for you anyway, just in case, because I said I would. All right, can we find out, Spirit Guides of Moon Love, if she is going to get her... Yes, you are still here. The offer letter tomorrow from college. Okay, will she be getting her offer letter tomorrow from college? We have 8 of Wands. And what I feel like this is saying is you are going to be notified soon. It's not necessarily tomorrow, though. But you are going to be getting your offer letter soon. Congratulations. We are all rooting for you, okay? Oh, Lindsay says, yeah, she is in the house. Lindsay is good at, she's like really good at being support, for energetic support for other people. All right, you guys, thank you all so much for being here. I love this energy. Yes, please do. Please do update us, Miss Moon Live. In the meantime, you guys take care. Have a wonderful Easter if you happen to celebrate that holiday. Bye.